the fucking cherry on top right there. If that fucking thing wasn't working.
Just the day from hell for
Oh my god, yeah, bro. It was a tough day, dude.
A tough week, bro.
I just, to be honest, I couldn't even wait to get here. At one point, I was just like, fuck, I just want to do this shit because everything else today has been
a fucking disaster.
I wasn't even hungover today, dude, and it was just.
Oh, bro, you weren't?
No, I wasn't.
Did you tell them about last night's, what do we call festivities?
So we went out to Aero Club real quick.
Real quick, my ass.
But when I got home, like my cousins were like, hey, we're waiting for you. Like, we got a 12-pack of White Claws. And I never really hang out with my family like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't say no. But then I was like the only one drinking and shit. I drank half the case. And I still had to meet these guys at Aero Club. And then we were just like drinking throughout the night and shit. We went to Lancers, fucking got home at 2:30, bro. Like,
yeah.
Thankfully, I ate carne asada fries afterwards. If not,
you would have been done, bro.
I didn't fucking eat last night. I was going through it.
Nah, I was fine. I had like zero hangover. I was just tired.
That's crazy, bro.
You know what I mean,
I get like grandpa ass hangovers, dude.
Yeah.
I'm hungover for like 3 days.
Really?
I swear, bro. If I do like a heavy ass drinking day where like I don't do like all the like the proper things, like I don't drink enough water after, I don't eat enough whatever, I'm just fucked for like 2 days. Like I only get like 1 full day of like actually like body hangover, but then my stomach's just fucked up for like a couple days.
How old are you again, bro?
I'm 28.
28.
Oh shit.
25.
Bro, really?
Yeah.
28? I thought you were like our age, if anything.
I got that baby face, bro.
I was thinking, I always thought 25. I always thought, but I know you did tell me you were like a little.
Even with this fucking facial hair, bro, I still look mad young. Like, imagine me without this shit forever. People were like, "You're like what, 19?"
Hey, well, happy belated too. By the way, it was just
Thank
Sterling's
you,
birthday.
bro.
Happy
Yeah,
belated
bro.
to Sterling.
Fuck yeah.
That's also.
I love the fucking
That's also.
the buttons. That's hard.
That's also Mo.
No way.
Yeah,
Mo's
bro.
everywhere.
Yeah, he said he's gonna charge us for it eventually once we like pop off.
Yeah,
blow up.
Mo Bamba, dude.
Hey, well, cheers, bro.
Hey, cheers, guys.
Today's-
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, bro. No, thank you for being on. You know how hard it is for us to get a fucking guest on this shit.
Can we acknowledge the elephant in the room? This isn't our room.
Damn, Miguel, you made these strong as hell.
You're welcome. What do you mean? I was gonna say thank you.
I feel like this is a good ratio, you know?
it's not that
If
bad.
it was any more ginger, it would have been weird.
I don't know. It's a lot of J-Mo.
I need to chug this one so we can be ready for the next one because goddamn, I was stressing.
Well, Sterling, welcome to the alley.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Everybody else, welcome to the alley. I was super excited for this one today because it's our first. It was funny because yesterday Danny was like, "Oh, thanks for the invite for tomorrow, like to the
Like, for
podcast."
today?
I'm like, "Oh no, like we're
have a
having
guest.
like my homie on," and he's like, "Wow." Like,
You see how
so I'm
selfish
not-
they are?
He
We
was
were
like,
giving them their moment to shine.
he was like, "Wow, so I'm not your homie." I'm like, "Bro,
You're like,
chill."
bruh.
I was like, "It's more so like." Because our only guests, kind of like I was telling you so far, have
Yeah.
only been like our fucking friends that we've known for like 10 years. And
Yeah.
shit. So like you're our first official guest. Like moving forward,
Hey,
we want
fucking let's
Fuck yeah,
go.
dude. Fuck yeah.
moving forward. Like we want the.
I love that
Look at
shit,
that.
dude.
But moving forward, like we want definitely the podcast to be more like at least one or two episodes a month where we get like like somebody that is doing something cool or something that we deem like could give input to
Especially creative minds, I would
Yeah,
say. We're always looking at people that work in different fields, or we've been trying to form a list, right? But like now that since he told me, because I don't know nothing about him. Well, obviously, for the audience, Hyder and Sterling work together; they're coworkers, so they kind of knew each other.
Little Hank gang.
I'm dead, but so yeah, this is the first time I'm meeting him. So like, it's cool that Hyder was telling me that he has his background, in music and stuff, kind of similar to what Hyder's into and shit. So that's perfect. I think it's a perfect fucking first
Yeah,
guest.
what if he brought me on and he's like, dude, he's sick at basket weaving, bro. Like, he's an expert basket
I'd probably
weaver.
be like, maybe we should save him for later.
Yeah.
We could put him down.
My
on the
whole
list.
trade is something nerdy
It's just
as hell.
something just wild. Like
Dude, he's got the most Beanie Babies in the world, bro.
Bro, this
Like,
motherfucker has the best Lego collection I've ever seen. Like some bullshit.
it's like, yeah, I took down the Star Wars Death Destroyer in like a week. Like,
he just
something
pulls up.
light.
He just pulls up with like a case, just starts pulling out random shit.
I think the box said like 5,000 blocks or something like that. It's light work. It's nothing crazy.
Did that shit in the morning before I went to work.
I fucking love Legos, bro.
Legos go hard.
Bro, growing up, that was my shit. I wasn't really an outdoor kid as much as I wish I was, but that was like my shit. Legos and like fucking
Legos were always fun though, bro.
Toy figures and shit, yeah.
Like even when you were little and you had the fat ass Lego blocks, you know what I mean?
Even now though, I feel like people go on dates and like that's like a cute date idea now. Like that you see on
that
Instagram
is,
and
though.
shit. Like, oh, they'll go to Target, get a couple boxes.
It's just like an activity, you know what I mean? It's like the project of it.
is.
But for me, like building Legos was like some of the most frustrating shit I've ever done in my life.
Oh, see?
You always get to that one point where you're like pressing it down and then the
And
whole
it
thing
won't
blows
just
up.
crumbles.
Yeah, it's another thing. You have to have a lot of patience for it, huh?
Abigail and I bought like a 400-piece puzzle set like
Puzzle, really?
like 2 weeks ago.
How'd that go?
Bro, like we finished it.
Oh,
and
so-
then my dog pissed on it. So, but
You guys left it on the floor.
That's what I was
well,
gonna say. You did it on the floor.
We were gonna like frame it. But,
okay, cool.
I just left it there while I got a frame, and then he
And he peed on it in that time?
That week he was on some bullshit. Like he just kept needing to pee for some reason. So he just pissed on it, bro. Like I'm like, bro, he pissed on my hats and the puzzle. I was like, dude, really? That took us so. It was a 400-piece set, which isn't that much.
He was out for
was
blood,
it?
bro. The hats and the puzzle.
For real.
It was like a Star Wars thing too.
Okay,
funny
cool.
enough. But halfway through, like we wanted to quit. We're like, bro, why the fuck did we get 400 pieces?
You said no to giving him treats one too many times, bro.
Probably
He was
something.
like-
Or he didn't take him out.
He's like,
for the walk that day or something.
Yeah.
Blue.
I don't
Shout
know,
out, Blue.
bro. Fucking midget ass, chunky blue. Well, anyways, let's fuck. So Sterling and I have been working together for a few months now. We're like 6. I think I've been there for like 6 months.
Were you there already when he got there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He
At
came
the-
on after.
Sick.
Yeah. And I kind of it's funny, as soon as I got to kind of know you, I was like, oh, for sure, Sterling. Like, even before we, like, started hanging out or, like, talking more, I already knew you were going to be on the podcast at some point. Like, I always figured. Yeah, you were always,
It was
like...
destiny?
Yeah, it was Destiny.
It was Destiny. Shout out Dest.
I know. I fucking knew you were gonna say that. It's so funny. She gets so mad because like pre-us or whatever, like when dudes would hit, my girlfriend's name is Destiny.
Oh shit! I was like, who
So
the fuck is
anytime
Destiny?
somebody like a dude would hit on her, even like my friends back in the day before I knew her, they
Yeah.
were like, "It must be like Destiny," and then she's
Oh
like,
my
"Oh my
God.
god!"
She's
Her eyes
hard.
roll into the back of her skull. Like,
The fucking most burnt pickup line that
yeah,
you've been able to
but
use
someone
on her.
always says that shit. Dude. You know what I
Stupid.
mean?
But anyway, so let's just we'll get into a little bit of background stuff first, and then we'll get a little more intricate with the questions. But fucking random, I have never met anybody from New Mexico yet.
Oh, shit.
I'm the first?
Yeah, bro. Like I've never met anybody from New Mexico, so
Yeah.
I'm like just interested. Like what's New Mexico like?
It's like two different perspectives from when I was living there to like now. Obviously, like starting from like when I was there, it was like the most boring, like dead end place in the world. You know, there's not a whole lot going on there if you're not like an old person, to be honest. There's tons of like natural beauty,
Oh hell yeah!
like mountains, hikes,
Hot
like
as, hot as fuck.
Honestly, no, not really. People think it's a lot like Arizona, and it's not really like Arizona that much. Cause I'm from Santa Fe.
Okay.
So there's parts of New Mexico that are like Arizona kind of, but Santa Fe is like its own different thing. But like the culture is rich there, bro. The food there is incredible. It's kind of like its own cuisine.
Sick.
Most beautiful sunsets you've ever seen. The architecture is really unique. It's like all
Sick.
adobe and like really old. Like I think it's the oldest capital in the United States actually.
What the
wow,
fuck?
okay.
Really? That's
That's
cool.
cool.
What, born and raised or?
Yeah, I was born like an hour away from there in a
Okay.
city called Albuquerque, and then I
Yeah.
grew up in Santa Fe up until I was like went to San Diego to go to state.
Oh, you can. Oh, you. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
went
right.
to
what brought
SASU
you
for a
here.
couple
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sick, sick.
But yeah, New Mexico is tight, bro. Like in hindsight, like while I was there, I was like, bro, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
There's like nothing to do, especially like as like a creative person. You're like, there's just so much bigger than this, you know.
Yeah.
But looking back on it now, it's like such a cool, like culturally rich, like comfortable place. You know, like you'll see like authors and like actors and stuff because it's like New Mexico is a huge hub for film because there's like some tax like leniency that they
Oh,
have.
sick.
So like they film like a bunch of movies out there.
A
Like,
lot of westerns.
like the Avengers were filmed out there
Oh,
and
really?
shit. Yeah. Westerns.
Wait, really? What
Hey,
the fuck?
yeah,
wonder
I
what
think
scene.
I think the entire
Thor was.
the first Thor movie
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
filmed there.
Yeah, there was a couple, I think, and like it's funny because like when I was in high school, I shot a music video like at that studio, and I remember
Sick.
being like, "What the fuck?" Like,
That's
Yeah,
fucking
you were like
crazy.
geeking out and shit.
yeah,
That's
but it was
fire.
just like a small little thing that like the dude who was directing it was like a film student
Oh,
there,
sick.
so he just got us
Kind of
in.
hooked them up. That's sick.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool, bro. Like I love taking people there now to like experience it, like all the cool parts of it. But growing up there, it was kind of like really small town vibes. Everybody knows everybody. But I have nothing bad to say about it now.
Have you gone back since? Like
Yeah,
to visit? You have fam. I'm assuming you have fam out there.
Yeah, I mean, my family's kind of like not where I grew up anymore.
Oh, okay.
They're like kind of like separated out into like different cities or whatever. But yeah, like we went on a trip like with all my friends from California that had never been there like a year ago. Okay. We have this big festival, bro, called Zozobra. And it's like Burning Man kind of, bro. So it happens on the first Thursday of every September. And it's just this giant white puppet that they like build and like decorate. It's like huge, bro. So like I want to say like 50 feet tall.
EDM or like a mixture of everything?
No, it's like just, it's not like a festival, like a music festival. Oh, okay. It's like it's like hard to explain, dude, but like they play music, but it's like they'll play like mariachi music and shit. And then at the end of the night, they do like these kind of like interpretive dances and shit. Sick. And they like light this guy on fire. More like a
cultural thing.
Yeah, and they light this puppet on fire and there's fireworks and it's like all representative of like getting rid of like the negative energy of the past year.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's fun, dude. And they have bomb food there and then everybody's just high as hell. Like they do it at this baseball field and it's just crazy, dude. Like, it's just like this giant puppet we burn there every year.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool elements like that.
Some Midsommar shit, low key. You gonna invite us to New Mexico?
Yeah,
exactly. Fucking die.
I'm like, come through, bro. Like,
you just see the fucking girl with the bear suit on and shit, like Midsommar.
Like, what the fuck? Is this what he was talking about? Like, yeah, welcome to the fucking.
Let's go.
What's it called? Zabumafu or what was it called?
Zabumafu. Hey, dude, I was literally at the zoo the other day with Dest, and I was like, we were by the lemurs, and I was like, it's Zabumafu. And she was like, what? I was like, you've never seen Zabumafu? That shit was like my favorite thing.
Yeah, he's iconic, bro.
It was iconic. PBS all day, bro. I didn't have cable growing up. That's all we would watch.
I didn't even realize it was on PBS. I was just like, Zabumafu's my dog.
That's my dog. Nah, he was, bro. He's that guy.
Funny enough, I think I seen something. He like passed not too long ago. Like
the actual lemur. Yeah, the fact that he lived that long is crazy. Yeah. I didn't know lemurs lived that long.
Bro, they probably forced them, bro. PBS was probably injecting them and shit. No, straight up. Keeping them alive, bro.
Yeah, they're like, you gotta stay alive, bro.
they fucking put like some Coke on the banana or some shit to keep that fool awake before the show, bro.
That's fresh. Honestly, some crazy shit.
They're like, here, fuckers.
Yeah, he's going crazy out there, dude.
So was coming to San Diego like was that your first choice? And then was it like I guess culture shock in a sense, moving from like a small town vibe kind of thing to...
big city life.
It's funny because like San Diego is like the most like light big city there is. It's like very not big city at all. But my first choice was I wanted to go to Boston to go to Berklee School of Music.
It's funny. I was just looking into that.
My college options were literally like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply to Berklee and I know I'm gonna get in, and just in case I don't, I'll apply to SDSU. Just because, like, in my head, like, my impression of state schools, because, like, in New Mexico, you go to UNM, it's just, like a state school. Like, it was just easy to get into. So, like, my understanding of San Diego State was just, like, okay, I'll apply. I have pretty good grades. I'll get in, like, as a safe bet. I didn't realize that it's actually a pretty difficult school to get into.
Competitive as shit. Even for us that are here.
Yeah, so, like, I had no idea. So, I was like, okay, I'll apply to Berklee, and just in case, I'll apply to SDSU. So, the application for Berklee was intense, bro. They're like real musicians out there. And I'm not like classically trained at all. I just like made beats and rapped and shit
but
like
you
that.
wanted to be, you know?
Yeah, and I played guitar and stuff, but like I don't know, I was like, okay, I can just go there and learn all this stuff. But yeah, they're very like cutthroat.
Selective.
They're very like, okay, like what key is this in? And then the and I'm like, like I don't know, dude. Like I really went in there so blind. They were probably like, who the fuck is this
Y
guy?
equals MX plus B.
Like, and the best part that the best thing about my audition was probably just like you had to write like an original song. So I wrote this whole song on guitar, and it was like this like singing rap thing. And I did that, but everything else was just like a big old bomb.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Big bomb. They were like, the song was tight, bro, but like you don't know anything. Like that would be like I think they were like, that's like you not knowing like basic math and trying to be like an engineer, you know?
Was that a tough blow?
It was just like, I didn't understand the level of it. It wasn't like, it sucked for sure, but it was just like, damn, I guess I wasn't meant to go there. You know what I mean?
Fuck, that's always tough. Everyone always goes through something.
It was like a weird serendipitous thing too, because the creator of the whole school lived in Santa Fe. And like my mom like knew of him through a friend. I forget how exactly, but she like, I had lunch with that dude, and I like gave him my album at the time. And so I was like, bro, like I made a great impression. Like miracles can happen. Like knowing that I bombed the shit out of that thing.
Like this, bro.
And I didn't get in, but
Jesus Christ.
But it led me to SDSU, and it was just like, I remember I like forgot, because like, I was pretty wrapped up in the whole Berkeley thing. And then I saw one of my friends on Facebook was like, just got into SDSU. And I was like, damn, I should probably see. Like, I haven't got a letter or anything. Yeah. But then I went through the online portal and I did get in. And so then it was okay, I'll go out there. But to answer the second question, it wasn't necessarily like culture shock, except for like it opened my horizons to music a lot more. Like as a musician in New Mexico, I was very like rippity rap, like rap purist type of dude. And then like coming out here, it was like, you know, going to basketball parties and football parties. They're playing like Sage the Gemini and like YG and all this stuff. That was just like fun, bro. And it was like Bay not Area, so serious. LA type shit. Yeah, dude. It just like fucking went hard. And I was like, bro, like I didn't realize that shit could be like this. Like I was never in those contexts where like seeing party music like live, active, like, you know what I mean? Like people getting down, So that was kind of like, I was like, damn, okay, this shit's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, that was my follow-up question now that you got into that. Like, what was the differences in the scene, in the rap scene that you've seen now that we're kind of getting into it, like from Santa Fe or like New Mexico to here, California, like all the fucking different kinds of, I mean, like inspiration.
Yeah, I just think it's like New Mexico like was really like prideful about like rapping, you know,
like lyricism,
like lyrics, and like everybody was into battle rap and everybody was into like barring out, and it was, I don't know, it's like weird because like I feel like it's a lot like sports. Like New Mexico, we don't really have like professional sports teams. We have one farm league baseball team, but so a lot of people kind of like are Cowboys fans or are Broncos fans or whatever. So I feel like it's kind of the same thing with like rap a little bit. People are just like, okay, like we look to like New York and that's like our bigger influences, or we look to like I don't know, it was like a mixed bag. But I feel like when I was coming up, everybody was stoked about like the rappiest people. And less about just like
the
vibes.
That's fucking sick. What are your inspirations then, I guess, like you personally?
So growing up, like Kid Cudi was such a huge influence on me. I was like fucking addicted to Wiz Khalifa for the longest time in high school. Like,
bro, Wiz was the shit for like a while.
Bro, he was Wiz. Like a god to me. I was like, how is this so hard? Like, it was crazy. Kanye, of course, huge inspiration. There's just so many people, bro. It's crazy. Like throughout my life, how people have influenced me differently. You know, I did EDM for a long time, and bigger inspirations were like Calvin Harris, which he's still a huge inspiration, just production wise to me now.
Insane.
But yeah, just so many people, bro. But like the person who got me into rapping initially was probably Cudi.
Sure.
And like Lil Wayne probably. Like accidentally, you know, it's like that 2007 era.
That little run with the tapes.
Yeah, bro. I wasn't even listening to the tapes. I was super like mainstream, but I was like a little kid listening to We Taking Over and shit like that.
Dude, man, that little feature run he had, that was like goated. Like
I would just like memorize all the verses, bro, and then it was just like from there I just kind of started freestyling over beats, and then you would like freestyle around my friends, and then they'd be like, "This shit, that was kind of tight, bro." And then I started like writing a lot more, and it just kind of like all went downhill from there. You know?
You answered my question. I was gonna say like what kind of got you into wanting to be a rapper, but there you go.
It was like purely accidental, bro. Yeah. It was just like I really liked the songs, and then my dad was a DJ.
So okay. You have a background.
So he like introduced me to like rap essentially. Music, exactly. And he would like play me all like, he was like a huge West Coast fan. So I was listening to The Chronic when I was like,
fuck yeah, bro.
5.
That's
you
crazy.
Know what I mean? Like,
see, bro, like in my context, I should be playing like want to make banda music and shit.
Fucking beaner.
you too, bitch.
No, I should, and but not me though, because my mom grew up in LA. She was raised here.
Your mom.
I grew up with that shit. Chronic, Pac. Fucking, I don't even know. But then also like she liked like radio music too. So I listened to a lot of hip kind of R&B and pop and like fucking all that kind of shit. Neo, Pitbull. Like we went to I wanted to talk about that a little bit. We went to the Pitbull concert. You seen on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Bro, fucking
you went to see Pitbull? Was it fire?
Tell me why it was fun. It was so fucking fun.
Because that's the type of music he makes. He makes fun music.
He low-key makes bangers, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You're like embarrassed to like them, but they're fired.
And then the thing is, I went with my fucking family. I went with my mom and my little sister and my little brother. Why were we all fucking lit? My mom got drunk. I had to drive. So like it was so fucking fun for it was not what I was expecting.
Like you didn't expect to have that good of a time.
It was on a Wednesday. It was this past Wednesday. So we were like, what the fuck?
Where was it
Middle
at?
of the week at the amphitheater down south in Chula Vista.
Oh shit!
What's it called? It's not Sleep Train.
Train.
It's Cricket Wireless now. I think it's Cricket Wireless.
I was just talking to Des the other day about how I hate how companies can just buy a stadium and then that's like the name of it.
That shit's had like 50 different names, bro.
Literally.
It was Sleep Train. It was the
one before that one. Which one was
it? It was named after a furniture store for a little bit.
Jerome's?
Yeah,
it's Jerome's like the more furniture for less stadium.
Yeah, it was,
like, why would you want to see a show there, dude?
It was some bullshit like that. Now I'm pretty sure it's Cricket Wireless.
I don't know, but it was
the Panera Bread Amphitheater. Like, seriously, why,
some
dude?
bullshit.
Name it something tight, dude.
That venue's cool if you want to go watch, like, have you been to that venue at all?
Yeah, I've been a couple times.
I feel like that venue's cool. Like if it's somebody kind of like you say, like
Some
Pitbull,
like
last minute.
Oh, everyone was setting up.
Because if you want to go to like your favorite artist, because I can say that from experience, because I've watched Wayne there, and I watched Kendrick
on the Drake and Wayne tour. Or?
No, he was there for.
Was it a TE?
No. Wayne was there by himself. That was like his last album that he dropped. It was for the Carter 5, I think. I'm pretty sure it was for Carter 5.
That's tight.
And then I was there for Kendrick and the TDE tour, and they were both fun as shit. But I was like in the little turf area, like
the field. Yeah, I don't know. That was one thing. We weren't in the field. We were in the seats.
Oh, you guys were
maybe
in
that's
seats.
why it was more fun.
Okay. There's like a pit area too, right? A small one.
Yeah, so
bro,
I'm like,
the field packed, bro, super full, hella people. Like I couldn't even imagine being up there. Like I would have been pissed.
Not for me.
Anyways, it was fun though. Yeah, like hell yeah.
Yeah, how do you enjoy people from the back? You know?
Yeah,
like watching like Fireball.
Dude, literally more Fireball.
Sterling's actually a huge like festival and concert. Like he was at Coachella this year.
Oh, sick.
What's been your favorite like out of every concert or fucking festival you've gone to? What's like your number one that
live show?
Like the best set I've ever seen.
Yeah, give me that best set.
I'm not a concert guy myself. I
really?
Yeah, not at all. Hyder, not that much.
I've just started going to more. Like I mean, we went to Kendrick.
Concerts are just like some of the funnest shit I ever do in my life. I don't know like what it is about concerts, but I just feel like when you're there, you're experiencing the music in such a different way. Like Kyle hadn't even listened to Mr. Morale until we went, and I was kind of telling him, I was like, just don't listen to it then until you see the show, because you're gonna hear it in a much different way, you know. Seeing shit live, I don't know, it just changes it.
Yeah.
But the best set ever, bro, was probably, you guys know Phoenix?
What is it?
They're like this alternative band.
Okay, no.
They were like, I don't know if I could say that it was the absolute best, but it was like definitely like top
memorable.
5.
Like
Jamie, pull up a Phoenix for us.
Like, you know that, you would know, like they have like hella hits. Like they have that one song that,
you said alternative?
You literally, it's spelled Jamie?
What are you saying?
Wait, you said
Phoenix. Phoenix.
Oh.
He was saying Jamie like the Joe Rogan guy.
Bro, I'm tripping right now. Sorry, guys.
It's this shit,
Oh, I've heard that before.
Have I?
The falling.
Oh.
They've been on like car
they
commercials
were,
and shit.
that shit was always on fucking FIFA, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make just like kind of like pop alternative shit.
Kind of like Caged Elephant?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
But dude, it was the way that the lights were syncopated. I love when artists sound like just like their records, you know? Like literally just sounded exactly like they sounded recorded. But that shit was so much fun. Baby Keem is such a great performer, dude.
He was fire. Not even gonna lie.
Him at Coachella was like a religious experience, dude. It was crazy. Cause like imagine what he did at Pachanga, but on such like a grander scale.
By himself.
Huge screens by himself. Like just like the lighting was crazy. Just so much more stage production.
Yeah.
And there's something like having a lot of bodies around too. You know, like experiencing it like
with
collectively.
that many people.
Yeah. It's like a lot more special than if it's kind of like clear. Like sometimes when you're in like VIP area and stuff, you can kind of feel like it's deader than it is just because you're not like feeling that collective energy, you know? At least for me. But why aren't you really a big concert guy?
I know why. Money, bro. It's expensive, bro. What
They
the
are
fuck?
expensive.
It's expensive, and I've always wanted to go. Funny enough, I had my first EDC ticket 20 2020. Yeah, it was 2020.
Yeah,
Fucking
canceled.
Pandemic hit.
And then the weekend, this fucker was supposed to go to the weekend since
In San
he
Diego.
first announced his
canceled,
tour.
His first tour with After Hours, and then obviously they postponed everything and canceled. And then he redid his dates. No San Diego show, baby. And I had my ticket. I had my fucking ticket, bro. I was
So now he just has a sour taste in his mouth.
So yeah, so fuck off.
I feel that.
No, but
it's
I do.
tough
I
though.
do wanna
They are
go.
expensive, bro.
It's crazy, but I do want to go. Yeah, like EDC, that'd be sick. But I do want to go see like for sure The Weeknd or like just get into more shit like alternative bands too. Like
I want to watch. I want to go watch a band now. Like now that I've
Yeah.
been to a few hip hop shows, I want to go watch like
It's
a
a
little
different
band.
experience.
Hell
Even
yeah.
when like a rapper has like a drummer or something, dude, it's like way tighter.
Well, I know Cage. I think Cage the Elephant's gonna be here at. They're doing you know how they do that new. They're doing a new festival here at fucking Seaport.
Yeah. Waterfront.
Oh, yeah,
Waterfront.
okay.
Yeah, so I know Cage Elephant's part of like the lineup.
lineup.
You fuck with them heavy?
I like Cage Elephant.
fuck
Yeah,
I only know like a couple songs by them.
Hey, we should look into that.
yeah. It's
Record while we're
Yeah.
the pod. Yeah, we're in the fucking.
Do the vlog, bro. The podcast
the
vlog.
podcast
It's a
vlog,
podcast and a vlog.
and then we're gonna have Mo there finger cam.
Yeah. We're not bringing Mo. We're not bringing Mo to that. Fucking creep. He's gonna be all up on us.
I'm fucking
hilarious.
Fucking real quick before we have to fucking take the little breather here.
Yeah.
What do you think about like the current state of like? I feel like rap is in a state right now where it's like the ones that are fire are like the old, like unless it's just I'm getting older and I'm not into all the young shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like the heavy hitters are still like the same fuckers that were there when I was in high school. Like it's still Kendrick, it's still Drake. It'll still be Jay whenever he decides to make music. Kanye, Travis. Like I feel like it's in a I don't know. Like I feel like it's in a kind of like a limbo kind of spot right now. Like there's nobody there. Like I don't know, pushing it to.
I think we just don't
We're
listen.
just getting
enough.
old. You think we're getting old?
I think it's just that like we're kind of experiencing like a genre shift, you know? Like I don't necessarily think that it's worse. I just think that they're doing a different style of rap.
It's progressing into something else. Like it's
It's like a way different type of rap that like people want to hear, and that like new people who are coming up right now aren't really making like stuff like Kendrick or Cole was when they first came out, because that's not who they were influenced by. You know, like Kendrick and Cole were all influenced by like all the like goats, you know what I mean? And then so like Kendrick and Cole and then were inspiring like Travis Scott and shit, and then Travis Scott and like that era people inspires like the next level down, and then they're doing something totally different, and then that's inspiring the next generation of people. So it's like I don't want to say it's degenerating, but I think that the emphasis on like lyricism or like I don't know, it's just a different type of shit.
I just feel like nowadays, like when I hear a lot of music, just in rap, because when I hear like random bands or like any kind of like indie music, I don't feel. When I feel like I've tried listening to like the newer rap shit, I don't feel it. Like I don't feel the actual, not even like lyrics. It doesn't have to do with lyrics.
Just like
I don't feel like the actual like passion in the music. Like you don't get the feel for it. Like the fucking like that shit that makes your head nod or fucking I don't know, that gives you like that like a chill. You know, like I don't feel that shit no more in rap.
I think it's just like a lot of again, and it's like I think it's like personal taste. You know what I mean? Like for a long time, I didn't get a lot of shit. Like I didn't understand like. In 2016, 2017, like there were so many good rap albums that came out that I just like fucking hated on at the time, because I was like searching for music with like a ton of energy because I was so into EDM, you know? I would like listen to Life of Pablo. I was like, it's cool, but it's kind of mid because it's not that like high impact shit, you know? And now looking back on it now and listening to all that stuff, like Life of Pablo, Views, Good AM by Mac, like all those albums, I can look back on those and be like, those were incredible albums, dude. But I just like wasn't in the mind space to hear them.
Maybe that too. Maybe like you're saying, it'll grow on you. Maybe. Like,
and it's like you never know, dude. Sometimes it hits at the right point. Like Playboy Cardi, I didn't get it for the longest time, dude. And then one day I heard Location, and I was like, oh, this is what this is about.
I still don't get that fucker. Boom. Boom, 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 boom.
I was like, he's gonna hit someone right now.
You
were like, I swear when that song comes on, I'm throwing bows, dude.
Nah, no, you know what it was, bro? Nobody felt that song as hard as I did in there. Like that song wasn't for everybody. That song was for me though, for sure.
What song was it?
The Worldwide
the one
Steppers.
that sounds like a fucking A24, like a fucking Christopher
soundtrack?
Nolan soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's that song.
I was so surprised he played that shit.
I know. I was too. I didn't expect them to play that. That's not like a concert.
Yeah, I was so surprised, but it went hard.
It did go hard. Where I was surprised at myself was when Mad City came on and I ran into the little thing. That shit was fun, bro.
Yeah, Mad
I was
City
like, shit, if
went
I get
hard.
sucked, I get sucked. Like, that shit was fun, though.
This is me. I don't care.
It was worth every bit. So re-listening to your album. So guys, listen. You're going through a rebrand right now too, right? So you're not.
Yeah, so I'm just my name. I'm just Sterling Luna on all platforms.
Yeah. So he was formerly Hippie Hollywood.
Definitely plug everything. You know what I mean? At the
at the end we're gonna definitely
everything.
plug the
For
fuck
sure.
out of everything. But re-listening to the entire thing, my two big takeaways. You're fucking, and I'm not saying this to hype you up. Your production, bro, is like nuts. Like, it is crisp as shit. Like,
thanks,
and
bro.
you produce, mix, and master everything, right?
Yeah.
You do it all yourself. So little jack of all trades.
Beast.
Nah, that shit is like stupid crisp. Like, it's very well arranged. Like, props. Like, that shit
Thank
is
you,
like,
bro.
yeah. Just
Nice.
re-listening, I was like, damn. Like, it's just very, very well made. Like, you could put me in a shit, fucking making a whole song. That shit's not sound that clean. That shit was super nice. And then two, I was just hearing it, trying to see like what vibes do I get as far as like stylistically what I thought you sounded like. You know, you give me like huge vibe. I don't know if it's your flow. I get a lot of like, it's a weird cross. It's like I get a big Sean Mac Miller vibe from you.
For real?
From that, at least from that album, from Swumfort. It's called Swumfort, 7-track album.
I could see that though.
Check it out. Yeah, I get a lot of Big Sean for sure. Is he an influence?
Honestly, I always respected the fact that Big Sean was doing like mad different flows that I feel like I wasn't hearing anybody else do, where he would kind of like stumble off time and then like bring it back on time. So he's definitely been an influence over the years. So like I could definitely see where you grab that.
Yeah.
Especially like on Alive. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I do.
Where I'm like rapping more fast. It's like hella like I feel like Big Sean influenced.
Do you feel like you've progressed, like your rapping style, I guess you could say?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
It's changed over time?
Yeah, hella. It was like I feel like when I was first starting, I was just such a product of like my inspirations.
Okay.
Like I was just like such like a. It was like I was remaking Kids, the album,
Okay.
or it was like every song that I loved or every album that I loved, I would kind of like do my own version of it a little bit. You know, it would be like, okay, like I really love Good Kid, Mad City. How can I make my own Good Kid, Mad City without like biting? So it was like always original, but it was like you could definitely tell like where it came from. But yeah, my style is like definitely like pulled back a lot. Like I used to be like very like tons of words, like all kinds of words, like hella fast, like whatever. Now I just kind of like do whatever feels best.
It's that little Bay Area influence right there.
Yeah,
too?
that shit helped a lot too, for sure, bro. Like, cause I was like in the dorms, I was like with hella people from the Bay, and they were like putting me on to all kinds of shit.
E40,
Like,
Too Short.
well,
all
even
these
like at that
motherfuckers.
time, like I Am Sue, and
yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, stuff I had never heard before. Cause I still don't really fuck with E40, to be honest.
I don't either.
Really?
You know.
Yeah, I never saw the appeal of
I like
E40.
I like to dance. Sorry.
I fuck with
sue me.
I fuck with the vibes, but just like the like I don't
It's
know.
funny
It's
that
goofy,
we're,
it's goofy.
Yeah, he's hella goofy.
quick side note on E40. That's funny. Like I remember, I forget. I think you were there that day. Remember, Katie was just like ripping like the new like mumble rap music, but then she like brought up E40. I'm like, bro, he raps so fast you can't understand that fucker either.
He's like mumble rap in his own right.
What she was
Yeah,
saying,
it is.
she likes E40?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
she liked
Okay,
E40,
okay.
which is like straight. Like E40, ain't nothing wrong with E40. I'm just like, if your criticism is that you can't understand it, I can't understand that fucker either half the time. Like,
Yeah, got a million on my mind. Give me whatever that. Like I'm like, damn, relax, bro. It's
Dude,
not
really
that
good. That
serious.
that was really good. But anyways, what kind of like when you made? Did you know you were making that project, that album, when you made it? Like, were you shooting to make an album specifically, or did you just
It was like, it was around the time that, so I was still making EDM, and that was like my sole focus. And then the pandemic happened, and I was kind of starting to get more back into rap a little bit, because I had kind of just like, I don't know, I like started off rapping, and then I just got super into EDM, and I was like, dude, I just feel like this is like where I need to go. I went to school for it in LA and stuff. Like I went to Icon Collective, and it's like huge in electronic. Like you're surrounded by people who are making electronic music at all times. So it just
Sick.
like felt like where I wanted to be.
Real quick, sorry, side note. Who's your like inspiration, or who do you fuck with, like EDM wise?
There were like so many people too, like
Yeah.
around that time. But yeah, like primarily like I would say like Diplo,
Oh, okay,
Skrillex,
for sure.
like dudes like Jaws.
They're gonna be with like Chris Lake and fucking.
I was never really a big house
like
dude.
house guy.
I really loved like trap style.
Okay.
I feel like that's why I transitioned into it so easy because like I went to a festival in 2014 called Hard Day of the Dead, and like a large majority of the artists that my homies showed me were like kind of like hip hop influence EDM, you know, like GTA, RO Grime.
Fuck yeah.
Like, and of course I saw people like Zed and stuff, and that shit was insane to see. Just like, I think that EDM, going back to the whole concert thing, just showed me how big concerts could be.
Yeah.
Like how grand, like, and how like it could pull you out of like the real world and just drop you in this fucking place where everything is perfect.
I need to experience it, bro.
It was insane. Like a place like EDC would be sick to go see that. Yeah. But that was like kind of my whole thing is I had never been to a show like that, you know? I think I went to my first EDM festival like right before my second year of college. It was that summer. Okay. And it was just like, dude, this is nuts, bro. Like there was this guy, Bro Safari, that was there. It was just like when EDM was like really hip hop influenced. And so then like I was doing that for a long time. And then I really like when I was in LA, I was like, I just want to make like pop EDM shit. And so I was making that for a really long time. And then, over the pandemic, I was watching, like, do you know Kenny Beats?
I love Kenny Beats.
I was, like, super into The Cave. And then I was watching his live stream, like, every day on Twitch. And it just, like, kind of revitalized my love for, like, hip-hop, bro, to, like, make those beats and just, like, understand, like, just like the energy that goes into it. And also I was kind of falling out of love with like the current state of EDM. I feel like it was going more towards like heavy dub shit, which was like cool, but it just like wasn't my cup of tea. And I feel like that's where it's at now. You make like sad boy shit, or you make heavy dub shit, or you make house, you know? Yeah. And so I was just kind of like, I just don't identify with this anymore. And I was just making those beats like for the beat battles. A lot of those beats on Swumfort, I was like, were inspired from those beat battles that Kenny was doing on Twitch. And so I was getting hella inspiration from Kenny Beats, and I was just making a ton of beats. And I made like like all those beats and like throughout the pandemic. And then I was kind of like, dude, like I want to write to these things. And then so I started writing to them just kind of like to get back into it. And then I was like, I just need to make this an album, bro. And Swumfort was kind of just like, we were all leaving my apartment, me, my roommate at the time, Dest, and someone was wearing like a fucking it was like sweatpants and like a blazer type shit. Like it wasn't that exactly, but someone was like, that's like Swaggy comfort, bro. And we were like, it's Swumfort, dude. And then so I was just like, oh, Swumfort would be a sick name for an album.
See, I love that. That came so organically.
Dude, and it just stuck with me forever. And then I like made a bunch of fucking like, I kind of like in my own head, like made Swumfort kind of like, so I had Hippie Hollywood, which was kind of like in my head, like the concept was like the place where the music came from. It wasn't like me. It's like I pulled music from Hippie Hollywood, and like Swumfort would be kind of like in like, to compare it to like Greek mythology, would be like a god within like Hippie Hollywood. Like it was like so deep for no reason. You know what I mean?
There's nothing dude, like that's a shit that kind of drives you though. Like whether it's like you fucking went that deep or not, but that's what fucking like inspired the project.
And that's exactly what it was. It was kind of like, this is like an entity of my mind of like, this is like how, it's like a subsect of like my consciousness that's like Swumfort. It's like cool, calm, collected, like confident, like super in his bag type shit. So it's like whether I really believed all that at the time or not, like that's what I was channeling through that album. And so I was gonna like carry it on and do like multiple different iterations of that. And then I just kind of like, again, like pulled back from everything, like post that album and stuff, and just like having a lot of time since making that album of just being like, I just kind of want to like settle back into just being myself and making whatever, but still having to be in like conceptual in a weird way. I don't know.
Super sick.
But at that time, that's what I was doing.
And asking you these questions and hearing your responses, it kind of makes me think about the album. Like, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, you made it after you went through a phase, like a EDM, like a heavy EDM phase. And now that I'm like trying to think back, I'm like, oh shit, you could definitely hear that in the music a lot. Cause it's not your typical like, and you say you're making like EDM pop, like that's kind of the shit you were into before. You could hear it, like you can definitely hear it.
Yeah,
I want to fucking hear it.
You haven't listened to it yet?
No, bro. I'm telling you, I came in here fucking might as well been blindfolded. I didn't know anything.
You're like,
I put like a little rundown of you.
Yeah.
Like a little bullet.
Yeah, check it out, bro. Let me know what you think for sure.
What's it on SoundCloud?
It's on everything. It's on
everything.
Spotify and whatnot.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then after Swumfort, or no, before Swumfort, was it before or after? I can't remember. I put out a little EP.
Oh, you did before? Is it on there
No,
too?
okay. So me and my roommate, who's like my longtime homie Gerard, and he raps too. His name is J Rab.
Sick.
We did an album together during the pandemic called Quite Franklin. And that was like kind of my reintroduction into like rapping again. I was like, okay. So we did that project together. It was super dope. I loved it.
Little collab.
Yeah. And then after that, I put out an EP because I was like, I need to kind of get back into like my solo bag because people were like, okay, you guys are like a group. But it was never intended to be like a group. It was just like, okay, we'll do this project together.
People just started saying that.
It was just like people that would hear it.
Okay.
Like people we worked with at the time and stuff like that. They were like, oh, when are you and Gerard dropping next or whatever, you know? It wasn't like a large mass of people. It was like a couple of people had said that. But I was like, okay, I want to like re-identify myself with like my solo project. Okay. And then that's when I did like a little 3-pack EP. And then after that, it was like I was just working on Swumfort.
Sick.
Yeah.
2 more questions about music, and then we'll move forward a little bit. But Way Home, who's Naomi Sounds?
Dude, Naomi Sounds.
There you go.
Yeah, she's like this fucking amazing, incredible singer and person that I've been working with for like a really long time.
Yeah, that was my favorite track off the album.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, we've been working with each other since like my freshman year of college. Like we met at an open mic, or like I forget exactly how we met, but like she heard of me or I heard of her or something. But we just started linking up and working on stuff together, bro. And she just has like an incredible voice. And I always try to get her involved in some capacity because I just like love what she does, and she's such a talented singer and like writer. But yeah, everybody go check her out because her solo shit is incredible, dude.
Yeah. I know. I maybe want to check her out.
What's her like style? I guess.
It's like it kind of goes all over the place, but it's like it's kind of like R&B influence,
sick,
like
soul
kind of. Yeah, kind of. You know, I would say like LMI type stuff, Kalani.
Georgia Smith kind of vibe, maybe?
I'm not super familiar.
Georgia Smith's a little slower, I think, from like LMI.
I would say definitely like LMI, Kalani.
Like Snow Allegra kind of thing?
A little bit like that, but a little bit more upbeat.
Okay, cool.
Snow's still even a little slower.
Yeah, it's not like super like, it's not like super like romantic, slow, traditional R&B. Okay. It's kind of more like, you know, like upbeat. Like,
okay, cool.
Kind of like trappy R&B almost, but she'll dabble in like reggae stuff and whatnot. Sick. But she's super hard, bro.
Yeah, she was nice. Incredible. Yeah, that was a great track too.
Dude, and she always comes in and just knocks it out of the park. She's always like, oh, I don't know, and then she'll like lay like the cleanest harmonies. Recording that track was so dope, bro, because I had written the hook and I had an idea and I showed her a demo and she's like, okay, dope. And so she laid that part down and then she laid like the harmony part, but like the way that she like sang it, dude, it was like almost like her vocals were like doing like this type of shit. You know what I mean? Like you can hear like, and I didn't even mix it like that. It just came out like that.
It's funny because when you sang, I could picture the fucking file. Like
yeah,
that.
it's like the high comes in at the right time and then ducks right when the low one comes in, and it's like doing 2 melodies at once. It was like, I don't know. Both me and her were like, how'd you do that? And she was like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Yeah, dude. I love that song too, though.
That's yeah. It was like as soon as like it stands out like right away. Like it's a fucking good project all together, but. That track itself, I was like, oh shit, like that shit's fucking nice.
Yeah, that track is crazy too because again, that was a beat that I had made for a Kenny Beats beat battle, and the sample for that is like the fucking weirdest kind of like country. Like,
is it really?
It's like din 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 din, like almost sounds like the King of the Hill thing.
I want to listen to the fucking tracks, bro. God damn it.
That's a good track. Yeah, that one's a good track.
Like that, like the fucking like bell. That's like the din 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 din. Like just picture that like 10 times speed up, like din din. Like it was country, so it's just like I just took that and slowed it down like fuck, and then made the whole track out of that. But
we could leave this next part out real quick just because I don't want to get you sued. But since how do you go by the process of like, did you have to actually clear? Because I know you probably had what like 2 or 3 samples in this whole project, or was it more? Because I heard a lot of like synthesizer or just like keys and shit. So yeah. I don't know.
I didn't have any samples that I needed to clear.
No,
there wasn't a sample on there that would have like legally needed clearance.
Got you. Because sampling, because that's what, like, I mean, I've talked to you about it. Like, that's kind of what I'm into as far as production goes. So that's always been, like, my thing. I'm like, shit, I'm not trying to get my, because that's what I like. Like, I'm not, like, you were at least a little, you did guitar, so you had a bit of musical training. Like, I have zero.
Dude, and sampling, you can just, like, sampling is so much fun, bro. Even if it's just as, like, a placeholder for doing, like, a different idea. But when I was at Icon, one of, like, the coolest teachers I had, his name was Vito. In his class, he's like, just put the song out, bro. He's like, you don't, like, clearing a sample is, like, way more expensive than what you're going to do. He's like, it's kind of like don't ask permission, ask forgiveness kind of thing. So, like, you put the sample out, like, in the club. I guess there was a sample in the club that they didn't clear. And then the people sued him, obviously, when the song blew up.
50. And
then you just cut him that bread, dude. It's kind of like, hey, thank you so much.
Appreciate
you know what I mean?
My song's
like,
better, but thank you.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of like it's like a loan almost. You know what I mean? It's like I owe you for letting me use that. So like instead of me getting it cleared right away and spending all this money up front, I'll just pay you when it blows up, type thing.
Sick.
You know, because you're not gonna get sued, bro. Like unless it's Nintendo or something like that, or
unless you're sampling Disney. Michael Jackson or something crazy.
Well, even then it might get passed, but like. There's not a lot of people that are like scouring the internet like all day, every day, looking to find like a Michael Jackson sample, especially if it's like cut up different, you know? There are people on Spotify that upload shit every day that aren't theirs. Like they'll upload full Lil Wayne songs and say it's something else, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's not that crazy. I think it just comes to like when people like the suing and all that stuff comes down to like if you're putting something out on a major level and making a ton of money off of it, that they want their cut because they obviously did that work.
Like Juice WRLD. Well, the guy that produced for Juice WRLD.
It
was Internet
shit.
Money. Who was the guy? He's
Kaz
a famous.
Taylor
He's like a YouTuber. He's the Internet Money. He made a song for Juice. Hella got sued. Like I think he got like damn near no royalties off of that song after.
Because that's the big Juice WRLD song, right? Yeah. That's dude. Sting is like infamous for taking all his royalties, bro. Like he's not gonna let a single royalty get past him. He's like, give me all that money, man.
Hey, shout out to everybody that just walked by.
What the fuck?
And just like,
were there a bunch of people? I was wondering what you guys were looking at. But
there was one. A girl came to pick up her shit, right?
Yeah. She was like super quiet though, so shout out to her.
It was so cute, dude. I fucking love.
She was like,
after today, I love her. She's amazing. Shout out Kay.
Hey,
what is she?
Custodian. She's a custodian for the building.
Fucking amazing, dude. This is.
Yeah, she was really sweet to let us in.
I want to bring it up. I'm sorry. Obviously, this is in our studio. We're not in the studio. We had some complications today, but thankfully the factory let us, work around and shit, and it was really nice. And shout out Kay, the custodian. She's fucking amazing.
Yeah, shout out to everybody because this is a nice little setup right now.
We're gonna have to get her like a little gift or something. I was thinking
like a Starbucks gift card or something.
Yeah. No, she was super sweet for doing that. For
sure. Hello.
Jesus Christ. Literally sweeping around me while you guys were down where you were showing them around.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, no, it's okay.
Well,
like,
no, and even right now, like she was like,
dude, I don't know if you noticed, she's been opening and closing the bathroom door like super soft, like trying to make
yeah, dude.
That's so sweet.
When we were like on our break and I want to go grab something, she was like, "Am I being loud?" I'm like, "No, like, dude." I'm like, "Do whatever."
You're like,
you
do
have
not
to.
worry.
Yeah,
like, be as loud as you want.
Man, there's good people out there. Do you have plans today?
No, I'm.
Are you cool if we go like after this? We go another segment. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm chill with that.
Perfect.
Are we doing another break right now?
Yeah. Well, we will soon. But I wanted to touch upon music school actually.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay.
You're like, no, that shit was whack.
You're like, nah, bro, fuck school. You, fuck your.
Nah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Like, how was that? Cause you, I remember correctly, you dropped out of state, right? Like, and you went to music school.
Yeah. So it was. I was going to state for like I was just undeclared the entire time I was at state. Sure. I was like, okay, maybe I took every unit I took was like to get into business. And then. I was like, okay, maybe I'll switch over to journalism because like I suck at math and I don't really care about fucking business. I just like am here to get into media essentially. And just around that time, my family like was like just going through like financial shit, so I just couldn't afford to go there anymore.
Bro, expensive.
Yeah. And especially being out of state, it was a ton of money.
Oh, you're out of state, bro. That shit's expensive.
It was
I forget
a
about
ton
that.
of fucking money.
Yeah.
So it was like, it just like everything everything kind of hit the fan, and I was like, I'll just pull out and I'll take some time and figure out what I want to do. Either I'll just save up and go back, or I'll figure something out. And then I had found that school through Jaws. I don't know if you know who Jaws is. He's like just like an EDM producer. Yeah.
Okay.
But he did an interview where he was like, yeah, bro, like the only reason that I'm where I'm at is because of that school. And so I was like, okay, well, I need to be at that school.
Say less.
And it's like it's kind of like a trade school almost for just like music production and business. It was like it's not like a federally accredited thing. So I had to save up like a ton of money to get out there. But it was dope, bro. And less for like the curriculum and more for just like the people you're around.
Connections.
You're just like around like a ton of like just fucking creative people who are all just as inspired as you, and the teachers you're working with. Like the coolest part about that school was they had like office hours, but it was just like, wasn't like you go into their class and then you ask for help. It was like there was one office hours room and each teacher had like an hour block, and it was like all scheduled out. So you can like, you had the whole sheet for the whole semester about like the office hours. And each one would do something different. Like one teacher did this thing called Icon Idol, where you would just go in and he'd drop a sample and you'd make a beat out of it in 10 minutes, and then everybody would like show it, and then they would all vote for who was like the tightest one. Or there was like, do you know, I don't know if you guys know Penthouse.
That rings a bell.
One of the dudes of that was a teacher there. And he was a super dope dude. And he would just always talk about like random shit that he was into. So he would just like inspire you because like he was part of like Team Supreme and shit like that.
I've heard of Team Supreme. With
like Mr. Carmack and stuff. So he'd be like, oh, this is what Mr. Carmack is doing with his 808s lately. And then they would also assign you a mentor every quarter. And you would have like mentor hours every day. And you would essentially just like catch up. And the mentor kind of like dictated what they wanted you to do. So like my first mentor was crazy. Like, took my production from like here to here in like a month.
And that's like where like the main reason I asked you about this is because, like I said, once again, going back to your album, like the production is just like so crisp.
Yeah.
That I'm sure that shit helped you out a fuck ton, didn't it?
It was definitely like what I always say about that school is it taught me to ask the questions that I didn't know I needed to ask. You know,
Jesus.
Like the cool thing about YouTube and stuff, and like all this shit is widely available, but you have to like know what to search, you know, like if you don't know what you're searching for, you're not going to get the right info.
A lot of technicalities.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't think anybody needs to do that shit. Like Icon is definitely like a rich man's sport, and I didn't have the money to do it and went in a lot of debt to do it, you know, but, and I wouldn't recommend that, but,
so you would say it was worth it though, right?
It was worth it for sure. But not in the way that I thought it was going to be, you know? I was kind of like, oh, I'll go there. Because, like, everybody that I had seen went there, like, goes there, gets crazy connections, blows the fuck up.
That's what I'm saying.
Tour, like,
that's what I was going to bring up. I'm, like, jealous of fuck the learning, what you were saying, the curriculum and all that, the classes, the courses themselves. But he was in that space where there's a whole bunch of other creative minds that are all working together, working for whatever it may be, you know, towards whatever their goal was. But just being in that space with those people, dude, I feel like you learned so fucking much.
The community aspect was crazy.
And it like encourages you, I guess, to like just to keep it going in a way. Like it kind of becomes a competitive like space as well. Like I could imagine, but
because the next guy right here is like, hey, dude, check this out. What do you think? And it's like the best thing you've ever
like, what
heard
the
in
fuck?
your life.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
What the fuck, dude? So you're just there more. You know, you're spending those hours, but it was expensive. So I lost out on a lot of experience just because I was working so much, dude. So it was like I would go to class and then I would have to leave and go to work. Like the first, and this kind of fucked me over in the long run, but like the first semester I was like, I'm not going to work because I took out this fat loan. I was like, okay, I'll just
live off the loan.
Live off that. But my expenses in LA were like $5,000 a month, dude.
Oh my God. Get fucked.
Like with school and rent and like everything going on, it was a lot of fucking money, dude. So I was like, I can make this work, and then I could not make that work. So after that semester, I was like, oh my God.
What were you doing? Like, what were you working?
I was working at a Jersey Mike's, dude.
Oh my God.
Because the restaurant industry is so saturated there, bro. Like getting a restaurant job was impossible.
Yeah, because people like do that shit for like a living type shit.
Yeah, because there's tons of actors out there and shit that are trying to do it. So it's like, I came from a 5-star restaurant background, bro. I was like, I'll have no problem getting a job. And, like, I couldn't even get a job at Yard House because, like, there was just no spots, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
No way.
Yeah. So I was like, my friend got a job at Jersey Mike's, and I was just, like, literally, like, I'm so broke, dude. Like, I'll work wherever.
Bro, what's up? You guys need someone to cut the bread up or something?
Yeah.
Really?
So I was working there, dude, and I was grinding there, bro, like, hella hours. And then I got a second job at, like, a breakfast restaurant finally, and I was just a food runner over there on the weekends. But, yeah, I was working every day, dude, and then going to school and shit. It was, like, a lot.
How long were you at State, and then how long were you at this school?
So that was, like, a 1-year push start program, so it wasn't a lot. I was only at State 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did my freshman year, which was fucking awesome, and then my second year, like, towards, like, the end of it, I knew that I had to pull out. And I never officially disenrolled.
Same with me.
Yeah,
we did,
but
I'm glad sure Hatters told you that we both fucking dropped out too.
No, I haven't. We haven't had that. No, yeah, we both got in a UC. He went to UCSB. I went to UC Santa Cruz.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Film major.
Yeah, couldn't. I was just like, nah, this shit ain't for me. Yeah,
I did 1 year. I was like, bro, I'm fucking down bad, depressed, broke as hell. Like, fuck, lost all that creative.
Even in Santa Barbara, you just like weren't stoked about anything.
I don't know, dude. I guess it was culture shock. I guess I had no friends. It was horrible.
Yeah, and see, for me, it was like the opposite. Like my schooling side was fine, but I had a job, thankfully, like through the same job I have here. He owned a restaurant in Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
and I was serving there, and I was making good fucking money there too, because it was a tourist spot. But, I mean, I was taking the bus. Like, I was fucking fat as shit. I gained that 15 so quick. Like, and then Santa Cruz just wasn't my fucking thing. Like,
yeah, it's different for sure.
Like, it's a great spot. I'd recommend going back on, like, a little vacation. But
not to fucking go to school for 4 years?
I'm not a fucking hippie, bro. Like, that's not my move. Like,
yeah, it's way different,
I'm not a protester. Like,
my homie, he went out there for a year, like a transfer, because like UNM did a program. UNM is like University of New Mexico.
Yeah,
they did a program where he could go out there for the same tuition. So he did a year over there, dude. And the stories he was telling me were nuts. Like the first rain of the season, everybody runs naked.
Yeah, the mud run. They call it the mud run.
Wait, actually naked or like an undies?
Yeah, like
no, they're butt ass naked.
Through the forest, dude.
Yeah,
I would done it.
Mud run. I think they call it the mud run or some shit like that.
Yeah, it sounded tight, but I was like, what the fuck?
You didn't partake?
There was no rain when I was there, bro.
I
didn't stay long enough. I wasn't there long enough. Fuck. But fuck. Well, overall, like, so music school for you wouldn't do it again. I'm assuming, but it did kind of work out for you.
The thing is like I would have done it way differently. Like I definitely rushed the fuck out of it just because I was like really eager to get out there. Like I was living back in New Mexico at the time, saving up money. And I was living with my mom and shit. So I was just like, I need to get the fuck out of here, bro. I need to go and be in LA finally and get all this shit cracking. So I could have stayed and worked a lot longer and saved up the money because I was working a really good restaurant job at that time, like equal to where we're at now.
Oh, wow.
And in LA or New Mexico?
In New Mexico. Maybe not equal, like a little less, but like same level. You know what I mean? Like if I was a full server at that time, I would have been making dough. But it was like I just rushed it, but I don't blame that at all because I met so many cool people and I was there at the right time where I needed to be. But I wouldn't recommend music school for people who don't just have like the disposable income. You know, if your family doesn't have that bread to just drop on it, I wouldn't recommend it. Like you can learn everything on YouTube. I'm just like a weird dude where I like need to be learning hands-on with somebody, dude. You know, like somebody actually there that I can ask and be like, but wait, why is this or blah, blah, blah. Like that shit helped me out so much because it's like looking up tutorials on YouTube. I felt like I could watch it and then I'm like, wait, what did I just watch?
You pause it and you're like, holy shit. And you're trying to do it. And then you're like, wait, what the fuck? Exactly, and you have to go back.
And again, annoying. Just learning the questions that I never knew I needed to ask. So, but it was tight, bro. It was definitely a dope experience. But living in LA, I was like, dude, I got to get out of here.
Dude, yeah, how the fuck was LA? What a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's not tight, dude. I was like, my impression of it was that I was going to go there and it was going to be like San Diego on steroids.
Oh, yeah, right.
And it was like the exact opposite.
Bro, the people, I'm sure like the people in school and shit was different, but like just outside, like What the fuck?
Well, it's because like I had a manager at Jersey Mike's that was like, you gotta have a fucking chip on your shoulder to be out here and blah blah blah.
At Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, but it's like this is a dude.
The fuck out of
He
here.
was like exactly what I felt like was wrong with LA. Is there's a bunch of chill people that live in LA, and then everybody that moves to LA thinks they need to be like that.
Oh, okay.
And so everybody's a dick, kind of like collectively because they think they need to be dicks. The traffic was crazy.
Yeah, you gotta settle it right now, brother. LA or SD?
SD all day, bro.
yeah.
But don't tell anybody that.
No, fuck that.
We need to keep this exclusive.
Yeah, that's a fact. Before we go on this fucking break, LA, we're way fucking better than you. Fuck you.
Oh, I just realized the camera died.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Oh, okay, well, they'll hear this shit on
Damn
audio.
it. That's horrible. That was beast.
Did you not put a timer this time? This is probably a good spot to leave it at.
Yes, sir.
Sterling, you wanna plug some stuff here?
I'm Sterling Luna. I'm in the works of just like stacking up a bunch of songs right now, so I don't have anything coming out anytime soon, but working on a lot of stuff. I'm everywhere at Sterling Luna, so find me wherever. Thank you to you guys for having me out. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for making these fucking delicious whiskey gingers. Yeah.
No, dude, thank you for being on. Like I said,
Dude, hella, yeah, thanks for having me.
You'd be surprised at how hard it is for us to be able to get a guest on. Like,
I'll get you some guests, bro. I can get you Naomi on here. I can get you a bunch of people.
No, for sure. We'd be, and that's the kind of shit we're shooting for with this podcast. But we definitely want to have you back on, especially once you're ready to drop a new project. Like,
dude, of course, I'll come anytime. I'll come whenever.
Little press run.
Yeah, I'm off Mondays, so I'll come. I'll
and
come
that's when we record.
Fuck yeah, dude.
No, but we really do appreciate you being on.
Dude, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
thanks, brother. I know this is fucking awkward.
Yeah, this fucking long ass.
How long the table is
Long
until
ass
you're like,
high top table. Huge shout out to Kay, the custodian here
Oh, I fucking love her.
at San
I think I
Diego
might be in love,
Maid.
straight up.
Yeah, she
cleaned
hold it
my
down.
house.
She might be Jamie. Maybe we'll make be like, hey, you want to quit your job? And you got you.
You want to Google some shit for us?
We're not financially profitable yet, but we'll be there in like 6 years.
Real quick, I want to plug us real quick. Follow us on socials. We're on TikTok,
gonna butt plug us?
Twitter. I could. It's TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We're doing video now, baby. This is big. This is crazy, bro. Shout out Sterling.
It's real.
Very, very good first guest.
Yeah, bro. It was enough.
Thanks for having
I
me.
figured. I knew it, bro. I
Thank
had
you so
I had
much.
no qualms.
Yeah, of
Guys,
course. Thank you guys.
Email us at thealleypodcast at
2 S's, ass.
2 S's in podcast. That's right. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was great. I had fun.
I'm gonna write out to Sterling, to my favorite
that's what I'm
track off
saying.
of Sterling's album.
We try to close it out.
We're
with
gonna
a song,
plug
right?
it. This song is "Way Home." It is track number 6 off of Swumfort. It is still under the name Hippie Hollywood.
Is it? It should be under Sterling Luna now, yeah.
It still shows.
Is that on Apple?
Apple?
Spotify?
He's gonna go home.
Spotify is Sterling Luna. Everything else.
Okay, well just look up Swumfort track number 6. This is my personal favorite track. And thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you, Sterling. And
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
We'll be back next week.
Appreciate you guys.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, they told me suffering's the cost of living, and it's up to me to work with all the cards I'm given. Too familiar with falling, but getting up's the mission. So I've been working to get my pockets different. And the intro's always a little rough. Had to realize I'm at the draft and not the finished touch. Keeping the same direction with my perspective switching up. Knowing the difference of rising above and giving up. And I'm on the way, but